Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another episode. On today's episode, we're going to be reviewing Barcelona's opening game in the Champions League versus Viktoria Plzen. Let me introduce my co-host Alex.
Hi guys, how are you? Great game today we saw. Very pleased with the squad as a whole.
Yes,
especially our offense. You know, we didn't concede one goal, but it's mistakes that happen in the game. Yeah. It's not significant or a testament to how good our defense has gotten.
Starting off right off the back, just reviewing the game. Barcelona started up with like a rotated lineup, but it was like very strong. You had Ter Stegen, Sergio Roberto, Christensen, Koundé, Jordi Alba in defense, Kessie, Frenkie de Jong, Pedri in the midfield, Ousmane Dembele, Robert Lewandowski, and Ansu Fati up top. What do you think of that lineup?
I was a little surprised, like how you said, mainly with the defense. The attack didn't really surprise me that much. I kind of expected Ansu to start getting more minutes, and I knew it was about time that he made it into the squad. Dembele, of course, we know he's been incredible with his top-notch passing and his assisting, especially his crossing. And, well, Lewandowski was never a doubt. The midfield, again, it makes sense, but it's a defense that surprised me a little. I was surprised to see Alba start. I mean, I understand it was a weaker opponent. You know, it likely won't be.
No. Xavi went into this game just like saying, "Hey, we have so many games coming up now that we need to rotate."
No, for sure.
So that's why you didn't have Eric Garcia starting.
Of course, that's where I was getting to. You know,
and besides, you need these.
Of course,
the squad players getting minutes. This is why I think. Balde was rested. Araujo, basically our starting lineup, our starting defense was completely rested. They're all starting on
and we even saw Sergio Roberto starting, which is
exactly
surprising.
No, I think this is like a perfect match for Sergio Roberto, where you don't have to defend much. It's much more about going forward, where
of course,
afford a lot of space, because. Trust me, I do not want Sergio Roberto defending against, for example, Neymar or Sadio Mane or anyone like that. I absolutely do not want them defending that. But I think it was a good game. And on top of that, we saw in the midfield, how you were saying, we saw the Frenkie de Jong as the sole pivot. What do you think of that?
I mean, I thought he had a good game. Well, it wasn't anything extraordinary.
No, I don't think it was anything special.
No, of course, but it was a decent game. I thought he played well. Pedri, I thought, also played well. And Kessie was the one that surprised me the most today.
He scored. He was the fastest Barcelona player to debut. The Barcelona player who was debuting fastest to score in the 13th minute. He was able to score. And then that was really good because it was a tense game. And it was a very good that he got his goal just to get his confidence going.
For sure. And, you know, I liked how he was playing in that mainly defensive position. But he also moved up the pitch a lot and got into into creative opportunities.
Because him and Frenkie de Jong, they switched in from that pivot role.
Yeah, they had good communication.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's good. I'm guessing if we had like a stronger opposition, maybe they would play as a double pivot. But against Viktoria Plzen, it was.
I also think Xavi doesn't want to play a double pivot though. It's not the style of Barca. We always need at least two midfielders that are there creating, and one that can hold it up on his own, help out the defense, and mainly just break up the attack and keep the ball moving. Mm-hmm. And that's what we've seen for so many years with Sergio Busquets. Now, he may not be the greatest defensively. He's not
but
a
he's
player like Kimmich or Kante who break up play, but...
He's such a key player. His IQ is like the best.
No, of course. He's a player that doesn't lose the ball and always makes smart passes. He knows the game.
Exactly. He runs at 2 miles per hour, but because his positioning is so good, and he knows where to be on the pitch.
And, you know, even for a player who's pretty tall and not as quick, how you said... He knows how to play in tight spaces. We always see that he'll be getting pressed and he'll make the simplest move, a little touch or a fake, and he'll get out of the pressure like that. And he like you say, it's how we're saying, he's been someone who's been essential to the team and to its success. And it'll be interesting how De Jong or Chiesi or someone else will fulfill that role, or if that role is to be filled in, we might just see a change in tactics. However, I don't see that happening, so we'll just have to see who does it better.
Oh, yeah. But at the very start of the game, Barcelona suffered a scare. And around the 27th minute mark, around there, a Plzen defender, Mosquera, he went in behind. He elbowed Christensen. And at first, you saw the referee pull out a red card because Christensen brought down Mosquera like right in front of Ter Stegen on a one-on-one situation. And not only did he like pull out the red card, he awarded a penalty for Plzen. But then looking at VAR, they saw how Mosquera just completely elbowed Christensen in the face, and luckily the penalty was overturned. No red card for Christensen, and yellow card for Mosquera. There were a couple of times where Barcelona lost the ball. I think especially Dembele. Dembele was brilliant today.
Yeah, but
there were some moments where he lost the ball like in very dangerous positions that put Barcelona in a very dangerous spot.
And this is why I'm a person who, for now, will continuously be favoring Rafinha over Dembele if they are to fight for the right wing. If Ansu Fati is to start consistently, and we had to say, one of you has to start.
He needs rhythm.
I advocate for Rafinha, and this is why. Sure, Dembele is a very well two-footed player. Maybe he has that over Rafinha, and his his speed is better. He's a faster player, but he's inconsistent on the ball. Like, the passing is fine. Like, I just think he passes so much that some of his crosses are actually good and they work, but he's a player that when he gets the ball, he's gonna do something with it. He's not just gonna pass it back, And sure, it's a little selfish. If he were more consistent, I wouldn't mind. But my issue with him is a lot of times he tries to do tricks or tries to make certain passes that just end up costing us. And the counterattack, we're not a great team at stopping counterattacks. Especially because our midfield tends to be a little higher than other teams. So
and on top of that, like during the years, we didn't have like very fast and explosive players. And so we suffered in the transitions. But after that scare, a couple minutes later, we scored our second goal from Robert Lewandowski. You saw from that outside the box, bottom right. His Lewandowski is so clinical. He's a world-class striker. We're so lucky to have him.
For sure. One of the best in the world.
Exactly. And you see how much of a difference he makes. We have already doubled our Champions League goal tally from last season in just one game.
Yeah.
It's
not even a comparison, right? The team we had and the performances we were giving last season, but I gotta agree with you. He's been phenomenal, and it's just a joy to watch him play in the team. He's fit right in. He's fit like a glove in the squad, and people doubted him. Yeah, they said he's a little older. He hasn't played in a significant league outside of the Bundesliga, but I think he's just proving everyone wrong at this point, and he's kept doing it. I think it's now 8 goals in 5 games, if I'm not mistaken, something along those lines.
Yeah, exactly.
8 goals in 5 games, and that's an impressive talent.
No. He's only a couple goals away from Haaland.
Yeah,
and Haaland is on fire with Manchester City.
Yeah, I saw his performance against Sevilla.
Yeah. Haaland is so clinical, so clinical.
So similar players in some aspects, though. Like they know how to find the space, how to get behind. But he's also younger and quicker and stronger. So
but then after we scored our second, Viktoria Plzen pulled one back for a cross, and I think it was just lack of like poor defending, but poor communication in the transition, and it was just like, you do not want to let these guys back into the game. But then like right after Lewandowski scored his second goal of the game, making it 3-1. It was like a Dembele.
Perfect cross.
Exactly, a perfect cross from a tackle that he won. You're like, this is the Dembele we want to see.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, I listen, I love when he's on, but that's my thing. It's sometimes we do plays like that'll leave you wondering, whoa, where'd this guy come from, man?
Yeah.
Then you see some other plays that make you go crazy, especially the finishing. But no, it was an amazing pass. And a good finish by Lewandowski too. It wasn't as easy as people see. He had to get low for that header because the ball was dropping so quickly. it would have been awkward to volley it after,
No, yeah,
So
exactly.
It was a good finish by him and an even better pass.
No,
to be
yeah,
honest.
exactly. But the second half, we saw like most of the same thing. Barcelona pressing, Viktoria Plzen in the second half was virtually non-existent. And Robert Lewandowski got his hat trick. Ferran Torres came onto the pitch,
And he scored.
I personally liked Ferran Torres' debut in this game. He laid off a nice pass to Lewandowski, and Lewandowski put it in the same corner, in that bottom right-hand corner. It was, you saw how if Ferran Torres with confidence and on his day, he's a very good player, and you saw that today.
No, and we did see it also in the previous Clásico we played, the 4-0 against Real Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that game he scored 2 goals. I could be mistaken, but
I think so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's such a quality player. It's a shame though that he will not get as much playtime. But however, with all the games we're seeing and all the rotations, who knows? We might see him start one of these games. I think he's a terrific player, and he keeps showing it.
No, definitely. With the long season ahead, we're definitely gonna see rotations. We're gonna see players like Ferran Torres starting games. We have a very tough game in the weekend. I believe it's against Cadiz. It's against Cadiz away on Saturday. This is gonna be a game where I think some rotations are gonna be allowed because it's Lewandowski. I think today he played the full 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I would the week after, we go away to the Allianz Arena to face Bayern Munich in the Champions League.
I would, if we play Cadiz, that's not that strong of a team. I would like to see Ansu Fati striker.
I think Ansu Fati replacing Lewandowski in the striker is a much better position than him on the left wing.
I just think he tends to go very central, so he doesn't use the width as much as.
And besides, he's not like super explosive. Yeah, exactly. He's not super explosive like Rafinha or Dembele in his play. So I think he's gonna naturally evolve into that striker role. For example, just like Cristiano Ronaldo did back in he started off a winger, he developed as a striker. I think he's gonna follow the same path.
It's only a matter of time for sure. But I would like to see maybe Fati starting striker and then maybe on the wing, Ferran Torres or I would say that actually. I would say Ferran Torres start on the wing, Dembele get rested for Bayern, and then Rafinha start. That's how I would like the attack to be. And then on the midfield, I'd probably say Pedri, Busquets, Gavi, or
for now, I think that's Xavi's preferred midfield. I think.
But I'm saying for the sake of resting the players in a league game.
No, in a league game, for example, in the weekend against Cadiz, Gavi will start because he was rested in this game. He didn't start. Busquets didn't play either. So I think Busquets and Gavi are going to come into the game. I think Pedri will start, but I think he's going to be substituted just like he was today.
Yeah.
Maybe 60th minute mark, and you're going to see Frenkie de Jong or Kessie or Pablo Torre who came in.
It would be interesting.
I really like seeing Pablo Torre gain some minutes because he's not playing with Barca B, and he's actually in a weird position because he doesn't play with Barca B. He trains with the first team, but he doesn't play for the first team just because he hasn't been getting minutes. And luckily today he got some minutes, and I think it was a decent cameo. He didn't do anything particularly bad, but it's nice to have talented players have a run out with minutes.
Yeah, and get their minutes in.
No, yeah, exactly. But touching on Lewandowski and Dembele again, I think first hat trick with Robert Lewandowski. I think this was the first Barcelona player who got a hat trick in 2 years since Lionel Messi. And I think today was one of Dembele's best game in the Barcelona jersey. Just complete performance. You saw how he was taking on players. From some mistakes, excluding his mistakes.
For sure, but
he played very well.
The good overweighed the bad, and I think lately it's been like that with Dembele, and I just hope to keep seeing good performances from him, especially now that we're going to play some tough teams like Bayern and Inter eventually, so it'll be interesting to see how he does then.
No, yeah. So, question, all right, let's look at this. How far do you think this team can go in the Champions League based off of this start?
We're winning it.
We're winning it?
Yeah. If I listen.
Looking at example like PSG's performance yesterday and Manchester City's performance yesterday.
I don't care. I think we can win it because the only team based on current performances, the only team that can give us a run for our money is Manchester City.
Manchester City.
Because if you look at PSG, I watched the PSG and Juventus game yesterday, for instance. Neither team was particularly strong. Yeah, sure, PSG were dominating.
PSG played really well in the first half.
Okay, but they did that against Madrid. No.
Exactly. But that's the thing. They played really well in the first half, but PSG could have put Juventus away in so many opportunities. For example, that ball that Messi gives Mbappe for a one-on-one versus the goalkeeper.
He could have squared it.
And he could have squared it to Neymar, who was sprinting into the penalty box. Instead of just squaring it to Neymar, Mbappe takes a shot. And instead of going from 2-0 to 3-0 and being up 3-0, Juventus, a couple minutes later, with the substitution of McKennie, they bring it back 2-1. And then I also think PSG, the intensity was not there in the first half. In the first couple of minutes, the intensity was so high from PSG, and that's why you saw the 2 goals in like a couple of minutes.
I just think that PSG continue to struggle defensively, regardless of the fact that they have Kimpembe, Marquinhos, and Sergio Ramos, who I was pleased to see play.
Yeah, I'm very happy to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's a player that we have a lot of rivalry with for his history, but I respect him as a player, and it was good to see him play. PSG just suffered defensively, and their midfield isn't great either. They depend a lot on Verratti to cover a lot of the ground. I just think they have a lazy midfield. Vitinha is good.
No, but Vitinha, I think, has been so important so far this season.
I think it's mainly been Verratti, though.
Of course, exactly. But they finally found a midfield partner to partner with Verratti. I don't think Verratti has had like a real partner to help. But overall, looking at PSG, once again, they have their moments. They have their moments where they're brilliant, and when they click, when they're on their day, they can put away anyone. So looking at our chances on taking off PSG, I'd
say they're great.
It's going to be a tough game, but I still think it's a 50-50.
I don't think it's a 50. I think it's a 60-40 us.
A 60-40?
Because we will dominate that game.
I think it's going to turn like that as soon as we see more of this team. As soon as we see, like, hey, who are the starters?
I don't know. I just think that we would suffocate PSG because they wouldn't have the same control of the midfield that we do. And
no, exactly. But they do. But they can hit us on the counter.
Oh no, of course, especially with players like Mbappe and Neymar who are still young and can still make good sprints. But I don't know. I think if we can hold the ball and we don't lose it
and someone who I think is so error prone is Donnarumma. You saw in the goal that they conceded.
I don't understand.
That was he came out so badly for that cross.
Yeah, if you're gonna
and they were so on the, and I think he's poor on the ball because there were so many
terrible on the ball.
There were so many instances where he gave the ball away, or he was nervous. You see in the Champions League final last year, or like even a couple games this season, Donnarumma is not comfortable on the ball, especially when he's being pressed.
I still don't understand why Navas doesn't get the play time over Donnarumma.
Well, I think it's because like Donnarumma is 22 years old.
I get that, but you gotta keep developing him. Use him for less important games. Navas is such a criminally underrated.
Yeah, he's always criminally underrated.
And at Madrid, he was the same guy. He's always been such a good keeper. He just doesn't get the respect he deserves. He's great.
But another rival that I'm looking at is Manchester City. I think Manchester City with Haaland is a completely different beast.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think they're the only people that can genuinely beat us, and there'd be nothing we could do about it. But even then, Manchester City struggle a lot when they're not in possession. They're not a team. Sure, they can recover the ball, but when you're attacking them, I just don't think they're great defensively, if that makes sense. Look at their defense. They have Cancelo, Stones,
and we have to see if injuries.
Yeah, no, but of course their normal defense would be Stones, Walker.
But a person who has impressed really well is Julian Alvarez. He's been playing really well for Manchester City.
I mean, it was never a doubt. Alvarez. I always saw him as a great talented player. And what other center back would they use?
They brought Akanji from Dortmund.
Yeah, Akanji or Ake, Laporte if he's healthy, but that defense is not that strong. And the issue, especially if we attack from the left side, not Walker. Cancelo's not great defensively. So
no, yeah, we'll see. But we also saw Liverpool be defeated.
I'm not worried about them.
Exactly. They were defeated 4-1 against Napoli. I think the only major challengers to Barcelona right now is Manchester City, PSG, and we'll see how Bayern's doing next week when we face them in the Allianz Arena. we'll see.
We'll
that.
see. I didn't see a particularly strong performance from them today. I do understand they played Inter, but maybe I expect a little more. We've been used to seeing a different Bayern.
Yeah, yeah.
Past few years.
I think this is a weaker Bayern than in recent years, but they're still Bayern.
They're still Bayern.
Exactly.
There's no denying.
And there's always you always have to take Real Madrid into consideration, just because of Real Madrid. But I think Barcelona can go really far in this Champions League. I see semis as a real possibility.
Yeah, I think
especially if we get a lucky draw. Especially if we get a lucky draw and a favorable route to the final.
I would argue the same. You might laugh at me, but I would argue the same thing for Tottenham. I think they're going to be the dark horse this year.
They with their win over Marseille, their 2-0 win over Marseille, and Richarlison scoring. I think it was a good performance. And
yeah, I will switch between those two games all the time.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's gonna be. It just depends who you get.
Of course,
in the
if we
next
get
round.
a team like Bayern,
Yeah, exactly. It's just gonna see how it matches up. But I'm really excited. You saw Xavi bringing in the much needed rotations, a benefit of having so much squad depth, and we have such an intense schedule leading up to the World Cup that it's going to be very difficult for Xavi to manage the players.
Of course, but this is where like you said, this is where the squad depth comes in,
and his managerial experience and his know-how.
For sure, and he's a player. He's been through this. He knows the ins and outs. Sometimes coaches don't have that experience, and it matters in the way they manage the team. But I have full confidence in Xavi, and we just gotta see. Yeah. We gotta see how he does. I have high hopes, and I sincerely hope he can get this team right and keep winning. And we don't have that hard of a few fixtures in La Liga coming up. I think it's Cadiz this week.
It's Cadiz this weekend away from home, and then on Tuesday we have Bayern Munich.
Yeah, but league wise, who do we play next weekend?
Next weekend we play Cadiz, but after the midweek against Bayern, we play Elche at home. So that game against Elche, I think that's going to be key for rotations, because later we're going to be playing against Mallorca away from home.
And then Celta Vigo.
Oh no, wait! Actually, there's going to be an international break at the end of this month. So the players are going to be leaving, and so we'll see how it goes. Because then after the month of October, it's going to be absolutely. Just looking at the fixture list.
No, for sure. But I'm saying, like, we don't have the next couple games in the league are not difficult, so we just gotta focus on Champions League football right now.
Yeah. It's gonna be very tough. But that was it, guys, for today's episode. This was our reaction to the Barcelona's opening game in the Champions League versus Viktoria Plzen. It ended in a 5-1 victory. I think it was a very good performance from the team, and this team still has a lot more to give. So leave your thoughts, comments. Do you agree or disagree with anything that we said? And we'll catch you guys all in the next episode.